Hearing resumed. All those who are against the adoption of the committee resolution denying the franchise application of ABS-CBN Corporation, please ask to be counted. The committee secretary is hereby directed to count the votes and record the same. Yung nasa dito po sa plenary, pwede po taas po ng kamay yung Kong Zarate and Kong Abante. Kong Zarate po.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'm formally registering my negative vote to the resolution on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Noted po, Kong Abante, Kong Zarate, Kong Abante.
Ganon din po ako, I register my negative vote on the resolution.
Noted po. So ngayon po, bibigyan po natin ulit ng time ang Secretariat na bilangin po yung no votes naman sa Zoom and sa text and sa email and sa lahat pang ibang platforms. Next po natin, all those who abstain from voting, please ask to be counted. The committee secretary is hereby directed to count the votes and record the same. With the kind indulgence of our members, we will allow the Secretary to consolidate the votes from various platforms and report the result to the Chair. Hearing is suspended for a few minutes. Hearing resumed. Andito na po yung report ng ating secretariat. Linawin ko lang po, 85 members ang present, 44 po pala yung majority na kailangan. So, ang nag-yes, 70. Ang nag-no, 11. Dalawang yung nag-inhibit, isang nag-abstain. Ayun, yun ang total. So, 70 ang yes, 11 ang no. Dalawang nag-inhibit, isa ang nag-abstain. The resolution to deny ABS-CBN's franchise application is hereby adopted. Pursuant to Section 49 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, all House bills and House resolutions relative to the grant or renewal of the franchise application of ABS-CBN Corporation are hereby laid on the table. The committee secretary is hereby directed to inform all the authors of the bills and resolutions of the decision of the committee in writing, and as far as practicable, though electronic mail, within 5 days stating the reasons therefore.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Kong Jonathan.
point of clarification lang po. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng laid on the table, Mr. Chair?
Comsec. Committee Secretary.
Para sir na, ano na siya, kill.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Ibig sabihin po, itong usapin patungkol sa pagre-renew ng application ng ABS-CBN ay hindi lang po isinantabi. Ito po ay tinapos na ngayong araw na ito, Mr. Chair. Tama po ba?
That is correct. Kong Defensor.
Mr. Chair, in parliamentary courtesy, when a bill is being approved, we don't necessarily vote no because we just lay it on the table just to make it stay in the committee. But technically, Mr. Chair, for a franchise application, the effect would be to kill the application of the franchise. But it is still in our rules laid on the table. And Mr. Chair, as this is a historic moment for the House of Representatives and of course for the Filipino nation, I move that all members, Mr. Chair, who voted for the adoption of the committee resolution be made as co-authors. I so move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to include all members of the committee who voted for the adoption of the committee resolution denying the franchise application of ABS-CBN Corporation. Any second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Is there any objection?
Who voted, not present? I'm sorry. I withdraw my objection.
Without any objections, motion is approved.
Mr. Chair,
Kong
I
Jonathan.
move that the committee adopt the other findings and recommendations contained in the technical working group report, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to adopt the other findings and recommendations contained in the TWG report. Any second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Chair,
Kong Defensor.
for purposes of transparency, I move that we authorize the chairman of the Committee on Legislative Franchises to release the TWG report and the adopted committee resolution to the public and other committees of the House. I so move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion. Any second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Chair, mukha pong tapos na ang usapin ngayong araw na ito. Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair,
Kong Defensor.
let me, before I second the motion, let me just congratulate you, also those who voted no. The members of the minority are all here. Those who have worked for the 11 hearings, the 12 hearings, Mr. Chair. Let me congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, again, and the TWG group. I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, before we adjourn,
Yes.
I just want to be clarified if this committee report will still be. I just want to be clarified if this committee report will still be presented to the plenary, not anymore.
Hindi na po.
This is it, no? Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Kong Garin.
Mr. Chair, we are in receipt of some text from fellow members from the minority who would like to insert explanation of their vote.
Yes,
Just a
pwede
moment,
po
please.
isubmit na lang po sa committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
As there are no other matters to discuss and there's a motion to adjourn, duly seconded, Hearing is adjourned.
Franchises is hereby resumed.
Let us all please stand for a prayer for our frontliners.
Bathalang pagpapala para sa mga COVID-19 frontliners. Isang panalangin. Panginoong Diyos, sa gitna ng kasalukuyang pakikipagdigma namin laban sa COVID-19 pandemic, ay dumudulog kami sa iyo para sa iyong mabathalang pagpapala sa mga bayaning nangunguna sa amin sa labang ito. Ang mga doktor, nurse, at iba pang medical professionals. Ang mga siyentipiko at iba pang dalubhasa sa larangan ng kalusugan. Ang mga opisyal at kawani ng pamahalaan, kasama na ang mga sundalo at mga pulis. Ang mga media practitioners. Ang mga manggagawa sa sektor ng pagkain. Ang mga manggagawa sa simbahan. At mga driver, gwardiya at janitor. Sa tapang, katapatan at husay nila sa pagganap ng kanilang tungkulin sa paglaban sa COVID-19 pandemic, gantimpalaan mo po sila ng biyaya ng inyong pagsandalan laban sa anumang kapahamakan at biyaya ng patnubay sa kanilang paglilingkod. Sa hirap ng katawan at isip na kanilang dinaranas dahil sa mga kakulangan at kahinaan ng sistemang pangkalusugan sa aming bansa, biyayaan mo po sila ng ginhawang nadarama nila sa kanilang puso, ang ginhawang mula sa katotohanan dahil sa kanila ay nasasagip mula sa kamatayan marami. Sa pagsasakripisyo nila ng panahon at pagkakataon na makapiling, mayakap at mapangalagaan ang kanilang pamilya para makapaglingkod sa lipunan at sa mga biktima ng COVID-19, pagkalooban mo po sila ng biyaya ng pangangalaga sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay laban sa virus na kanila rin nilalabanan para sa iba. Sa hindi marapat at hindi makatarungang diskriminasyon na nararanasan ng marami sa kanila, pagkalooban mo po sila ng biyaya ng pangunawa sa kahinaan at kamalian ng iba at ng biyaya ng tibay ng loob na patuloy na maglingkod sa kabila nito at iba pang pagsubok. At sa marami sa kanila na nagbuwis ng buhay dahil sa pakikipaglaban sa COVID-19 pandemic, kupkupin mo po sila sa iyong kaharian at pawiin ang lungkot at pangungulila ng kanilang mga pamilya at kaibigan. Panginoong Diyos, paspasan mo ang mga COVID-19 frontliners upang hindi namin sila patuloy na mangunatarin sa pagsubok na ito kung hindi patuloy rin silang matitiwaran namin sa pagiging bayani para sa iba at sa aming bayan. Gawaran mo po, Panginoong Diyos, ng iyong nabathalang pagpapala ang mga anak mong COVID-19 frontliners dahil sila ay tunay na daluyan ng iyong pagkalinga at pagmamahal sa amin. Amen.
Please remain standing for the signature.
بينما كنا نحلم بالعودة بحذر، ظلت سماؤنا صافية وأرضنا غنية آمنة، وقمم جبالنا فوق الغيم عالية، وتراثنا شامخ بعروبة شادية. أتى الصيف وحان الوقت لتتنفس. تنفس وأبحر عبر هدير الموج الساحلي، وارسم بأبهى لوحا من الزهر البنفسجي، وسابق أبناءك في تلال تبوك العذبة. تنفس واستلقي في أودية الطائف الخصبة. تنفس روح السعودية. هذا الصيف وكل صيف.
PlayStation. Dispense.
Let's now proceed to the reading and approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Kong Boying.
I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the joint meeting of the Committee on Legislative Franchises and Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability held on 29 and 30 of June, July 1, 2, and 6, 2020. And I move to approve the same.
There's a motion. Second, Mike. Second.
Second the motion.
Seconded. Duly seconded. Without any objection, motion is approved.
Motion's approved.
Good afternoon. We concluded last Monday the hearing on the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Today, we will hear the summation and closing of arguments for and against the application. For this 13th meeting, we are joined again by members in the plenary and via Zoom. The Secretariat will record your attendance. Thank you for your presence and patience to be with us. Comsec, please recognize our guests from ABS-CBN who are now attending via Zoom.
Good afternoon. We have the ABS-CBN officers via Zoom, Mr. Martin Lopez, Chairman, Mr. Carlo Katigbak, CEO, Ms. Cory Bidana, COO for Broadcast, Attorney Enrique Quiazon, Corporate Secretary, and Mr. Ricardo Tan, Group CFO. We have also Attorney Ayo Bautista, their legal counsel, and Ms. Connie Lopez, COS.
Mr. Chair, ngayong araw po ay ang katapusan na ng ating hearing at magkakaroon po tayo ng summation ng mga issue sa mga kasagutan na tinalakay sa nakaraang 12 pagdinig. Binabati po namin at nagpapasalamat kami sa mga miyembro ng House Blue Ribbon Committee, maging ng Legislative Franchises na nakasama po natin sa ating pagpupulong, maging sa ating mga guest at resource speakers, particular ang mga eksekutibo ng ABS-CBN. Ang ating pong hearing ay napapanood live stream sa Facebook page ng House of Representatives at gayon din po sa live stream page ni Kuya Jonathan C. Alvarado. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sa kabuuan, ang Joint Committee ay nagkaroon ng 12 pagdinig sa mga isyong may kaugnayan na naging performance ng ABS-CBN sa pagpatupad nito sa mga probisyon na nakasaad sa kanyang prangkisa. Maliban pa po ang March 10 meeting ng Committee on Legislative Franchises. Ngayong araw, atin pong pakikinggan ang pagsusuma ng mga usaping lumabas sa mga pagdinig mula po sa panig ng mga pro-ABS-CBN at mga tumututol po sa pagbibigay muli ng prangkisa sa network. Inimbita rin po natin ang ABS-CBN officer sa Zoom sa pulong natin ngayong hapon, just in case may nais pang linawin sa kanila.
Matapos po ang 12 pagdinig ng ating mga komite, inabot po tayo ng humigit kumulang 100 oras na nakalap mula sa stakeholders, mga isyong may kaugnayan sa paglabag sa konstitusyon, franchise, labor, and tax laws. Kinakailangan natin itong gawin upang tugunan ang panawagan ni Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano na kung saan sinabi niyang kailangang patas, komprensibo ang pagtatalakay ng mga issue kaugnayan sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Sapat po siguro ang 12 araw at magiging summation ngayon upang mabigyan ang mga miyembro ng legislative franchises at para na rin sa paggabay ng mga miyembro ng Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Ngayong araw po ang summation at tayo po yung magdesisyon kung kailan ang pagboto. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Kong Mike. Ngayon, bago tayo dumako sa summation, meron po tayong mga ilang members na meron lang pong mga manifestation. So, una po dito, nandyan po kasama natin sa Zoom, si Congressman Abellanosa. Kung Abellanosa, you are recognized po para sa iyong manifestation. Habang inaayos po siguro ni Kong Abellanosa yung connection niya, puntahan muna natin si Congressman Edsel Lagman para din sa kanyang maikling manifestation. Kong Lagman.
Hello.
Go ahead po, Kong Lagman, malinaw po.
Hello. Can I be heard, Mr. Chairman?
Malinaw po, Kong Edsel, please proceed.
Joint Chairman, I just would like to manifest that earlier this afternoon, I filed my summation by reiterating the previous 5 summations I have done with respect to the 5 constitutional issues. And also, I have reiterated my assessment with respect to the other issues. There was a covering letter addressed to both chairmen for this summation. Thank you so much for accommodating my request to submit that separate summation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat po, Kong Edsel Lagman. At tulad po ng ating sinasabi lagi, lahat po ng members naman ng committee nito ay libre po gumawa ng sarili po nilang summation at assessment ng ating pong mga naging hearings. Pwede po ninyo i-submit naman po sa committee yan ang inyong mga sariling mga assessment. Hindi naman po bawal po yan. Noted po sa inyong assessment ay sa inyong sariling assessment, Congressman Edsel Lagman. Ngayon po, si Kong Abellanosa, nandiyan na ba? Wala pa rin. Si Kong Paduano, meron pong manifestation. Kong Paduano, kung ready na po kayo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Malinaw po.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman of both committees, Chairman Alvarez, Chairman Alvarado, distinguished colleagues, co-authors, and authors of this House bills, resource person via Zoom, good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, I choose to be silent behind the series of joint congressional committee hearings on the quest of ABS-CBN broadcast network to have its franchise renewed. Though a co-author of House Bill 3713 that aims to grant for the renewal of ABS-CBN franchise, for one thing, I believe I should not be biased from the start of the committee deliberations. The same is true, Mr. Chairman, as to revelations and issues brought into open by the hearings. Despite my silence since day one, Mr. Chairman, I have been closely monitoring the proceedings, inquiries, discussions, the pros and cons, especially from the resource persons. The exchanges between the executives and legal counsels of the biggest media network in the country and from my distinguished colleagues and those with supporting as well as opposing stand on the matters at hand have unearthed a lot of things. Everything was an eye-opener not only for the House but also for the general public. Mr. Chairman, in my several years in the House, I have been consistent in my stand on pressing issues, no matter whether I was bashed or praised on multiple platforms. I stood my ground in advancing what I perceived to be necessary and vital. To drive my point, Mr. Chairman, allow me to cite examples of controversial bills in the House in my more than 6 years as member of this. When the death penalty bill, Mr. Chairman, was voted upon, I firmly stood on my opposition to it. I voted no because I believe it is not a deterrent against illegal drugs and crimes. To the point I have even let go membership in the majority all my committee memberships and vice chairmanship during the 17th Congress in my opposition to the death penalty resurrection. Subsequently, moves to revive the death penalty bill to gain steam in the 17th Congress. While the House swiftly passed the bill in March 2017, minus, of course, my vote, its counterpart measure remained with the Senate until the last session day. I remain steadfast on my stand against it. When we supported the train law, Mr. Chairman, I also stressed that the law will guarantee that a portion of the revenue from sugar-sweetened beverages be passed to the sugar industry. Coming from the sugar-producing region of the country, I had to stand for the interests of the industry that redounds to my region. It's not for the compromise amendment, I might have voted the other way. Thanks to former Majority Floor Leader Rodi Parillas and to former Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. When the anti-terror bill was voted upon, Mr. Chairman, I voted a resounding yes because I believe in the objectives and the boost the law can give the Filipino people and the whole country in general. Despite of the lobbying, the intense social media propaganda and pressure, of course, thanks to our very own, our esteemed Minority Floor Leader, Bene Abante, for respecting and understanding my stand on the issue. This time, Mr. Chairman, I am again expressing and exercising what to me is fair in the midst of recent revelation in relation to ABS-CBN quest for a fresh mandate on its franchise. Although ABS-CBN has been dodging allegation of not paying the correct taxes, there seems to be an engagement with tax avoidance scheme by availing fiscal perks. Big Dipper Digital Content, a subsidiary of ABS-CBN that processes films and TV shows for export to other countries and to different digital platforms, is a company registered with the PEZA, or Philippine Economic Zone Authority, the country's largest economic zone operator that offers fiscal perks such as waiving of income tax payments and levy-free imports to certain shipments. Big Dipper is perceived as a tax shield for the media giant. Legally, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing wrong with Big Dipper as a PEZA-registered company, but ABS-CBN has been funneling some of its income to Big Dipper, which gives some moral points that it is doing so to avoid paying taxes, higher taxes. Mr. Chairman, Big Dipper is a vehicle to reduce the amount of taxes ABS-CBN must pay. From 30%, ABS-CBN will only pay 5% by transferring its income, some of its income to Big Dipper, which is a systematic practice it has been employing. This is how common and unbiased Filipinos easily understand and see the connection between the creation of the Big Dipper. Mr. Chairman, the series of hearings of brought back, but I have also personally experienced in terms of fairness and balanced reporting and in tackling issues through the stations of ABS-CBN. It also brought back issues raised by Senior Deputy Minority Floor Leader Janet Garin, the former DOH Secretary. Issues she had been repeatedly expounded in almost every hearing with the DOH. Another example, Mr. Chairman, when ABS-CBN Ted Filon kept criticizing a colleague, a congressman whom I personally know, for whatever purpose, not renaming him, but describing him very obviously, he did not give the congressman a chance to air his side. Mr. Chairman, and recently, during the time of BCQ, sometime March or April, ABS-CBN, based on a mere Facebook comment, Mr. Chairman, attack on air the quarantine facility in my hometown, Enrique B. Magalona, the province of Negros Occidental. Again, Mr. Chairman, without first getting the facts and considering the circumstances. That was also the time we were calling for volunteers to join us in the fight against COVID. The local government units and volunteers in my hometown were behind the setting up of our first provincial quarantine facility in the province of Negros Occidental. It is in the spirit of voluntarism in my own hometown, Mr. Chairman. ABS-CBN had been advocating voluntarism, Mr. Chairman, having one of the biggest numbers of volunteers nationwide. And yet, through biased reporting, the facility put up negates that advocacy, Mr. Chairman. In the above cases, the combusting lasted for months without the network getting the side of officials, Mr. Chairman. At the 12 formal hearings on ABS-CBN renewal of its franchise by the Committee on Legislative Franchises and Good Government and Public Accountability ended, with regulations behind the media network made public through its. Though, Mr. Chairman, it is hard for me, I came to a conclusion that I am withdrawing my co-authorship of House Bill number 3713 that aims to grant the renewal of the franchise of ABS-CBN. Mr. Chairman, before I end, I wish to ask for apology and understanding of my distinguished colleagues, Representative Joy Tambunting, the principal author of the said House bill, and to ABS-CBN President, Sir Carlo Katigbak, sir, and to the ABS-CBN family. Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Congressman Paduano. Ang next po na mag-manifest ay si Congressman Ron Salo. Congressman Salo.
Mr. Chairman? Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Sige, please proceed po.
In light of my previous withdrawal of the authorship of House Bill 6901, I respectfully manifest to the Honorable Committee that by the same be laid on the table. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Noted po, Congressman Salo. Thank you. Ang next mag-manifest, Congressman Mike Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, nito pong huling hearing natin dun sa political bias or sa bias ng ABS-CBN, hindi po masyadong nailinaw kung ano ba ang binabanggit nating sitwasyon o yung ating definisyon ng bias. Naintindihan ko po, marami tayong mga kasama na may sariling mga interpretasyon o pananaw dun sa personal nilang naging experience dito sa bias na pananaw nila na lumabas ng mga pahayag sa ABS-CBN. But Mr. Chairman, I think the more important issue of bias is actually the very foundation of the franchise issue of ABS-CBN. Ito po tingin ko, Mr. Chairman, dun sa aking binanggit, ang pundasyon kung saan at bakit tayo nagkakaproblema sa pahayag ng ABS-CBN, partikular sa pagtutulak ng kanilang interes at negosyo. Mr. Chairman, ang ating Pangulo nagsasalita po sa oligarkiya or oligarchy. Ang definisyon po ng oligarchy ay isang maliit na grupo na nagkokontrol ng ating Estado. At ang grupo pong to, ang tinutulak niya, ang kanyang pansariling interes. Partikular sa issue ng ABS-CBN ay ang paggamit ng mass media, ang paggamit ng pagpapahayag para itulak ang kanyang sariling interes. And so, Mr. Chairman, when the President mentions that we should dismantle the oligarchy in the Philippines o wasakin natin ang oligarkiya sa Pilipinas, ang kanyang tinutukoy, ang maliit na grupo na nagkokontrol sa ating bansa, nagkokontrol sa kinabukasan ng bawat Pilipino. Ang Pangulo po, nagpapalit bawat 6 na taon. Ang kongresista nagpapalit bawat 3 taon. Ang senador, 6 na taon. Ang politika ho, palit ng palit. Pero ang malalaking negosyante sa ating bansa ay patuloy na namamayagpag. Nag-iiba ang politiko, nag-iiba ang liderato, pero ang interes sa kanilang negosyo ay patuloy. If I may, Mr. Chairman, I would like to quote the book of Mr. Alfred McCoy. The particular part of this is the rent-seeking families and the state. The book was written entitled Anarchy of Families, State and Family in the Philippines. And if I may quote, dito po sa libro niya, binanggit niya na, noong 1992 sabi niya, si Mr. Henny Lopez ay naging chairman ng Media Citizens Quick Count. At pumasok siya doon sa eleksyon. Hindi lang po naman 1992 yan, maging nung mga nakaraang eleksyon. Sa particular na eleksyon na to, tinulungan niya si Presidente Ramos. At dahil nga nanalo si Presidente Ramos, na-consolidate ulit ang poder ng politika. At particular, Mr. Chairman, ang negosyo dito sa ating bansa ng Lopez family. At dito po sa kanyang konklusyon, sinabi niya, above all, the history of the Lopez family illustrates the symbiosis between the weak Philippine state and the strength of the country's dominant political families. A contradictory pairing of the state's broad economic powers with the executive's role as a political patron has made rent sinking an imperative for major Filipino families. Through their reliance upon rents, ano po ba yung rent seeking? Ito po yung mga pabor sa paggamit ng poder ng ating gobyerno. Ito po yung monopolya na paggamit ng poder ng gobyerno para sa inyong negosyo. An imperative for major Filipino families. The reliance upon rents, these families can exploit the state's financial resources and regulatory powers to create optimum conditions from the growth of their corporations. Mr. Chairman, they say that a vote for the continuance of the franchise or a release or a granting of a franchise to ABS-CBN is a suppression of press freedom. But I say, Mr. Chairman, that a yes vote to stop the franchise is a vote to stop perpetuation of an oligarchic state, an oligarchy that continue to suppress our people. Mr. Chairman, if I may show the slide, ito pong isyong to ay isang maliit na bahagi ng problema sa atin, sa ating bansa. At ito rin po ay nakabalot sa negosyong itinutulak ng pamilyang Lopez. Mr. Chairman, ang Meralco po ay napunta sa pamilya Lopez ng taong panahon ng Pangulong Garcia. Hindi ho yan kahapon lang. Hanggang sa ngayon po at kailan lamang nawala sa kanilang pagmamayari. Pero 55% po ng binabayaran nating kuryente ay galing sa mga planta or power plants na kanilang pinagagalingan sa pagdaan sa Meralco. Next slide. Mr. Chairman, ito pong mga plantang to, ang FGPC o First Gas Power Corporation, FGP Corporation, ay nagkaroon ng kontrata noong 1995, March 14, at July 22, 1999. Yan po ay may 25 taon, 25 years contract sa ating bansa na magtatapos ng 2025 at 2027. Ang Meralco ng panahong pinirmahan ng kontratang yan, sila din may-ari. Pumirma ang Meralco sa parehong kumpanya na silang nagmamay-ari. Next slide. Ito po ay garantisado. Kailangan bilhin ang kuryente na kanilang pinoproduce. Kailangan po na bayaran kahit gamitin o hindi ng Meralco. At syempre, sino ang nagbabayad? Ang ating pong taong bayan. Whatever cost, kanina ko pinakita ko sa inyo, 55%. 55% po ang nanggagaling sa power generation. Next slide. Ito po ay nabili ng Metro Pacific ng 2010 lamang. So for the past several years, since 1995 and 1999, ang power generation, pag-aari ng Lopez, ang Meralco, pag-aari ng Lopez. Pero dahil po nakatali ang kontrata hanggang 2025 at 2029 ay wala tayong magagawa. Kailangan nating bayaran ang kuryenteng yan, kailangan nating magbayad sa Meralco. Kahit na po ang Meralco gustong ibaba ang presyo ng kuryente, ay wala silang magagawa. Next slide, please. Diyan po sa slide niyan, makikita po na ang kuryente na nanggagaling sa First Gas Power Corporation, Santa Rita, at yung FGP Corporation, almost 30% ang binibili sa kanila ng Meralco. Diyan po nakalista rin ang iba pang mga power plants, katulad ng South Premier Power Corporation, San Miguel Energy Corporation, na meron din pong kontrata sa Meralco. Next slide.
Baka makulat ka.
Ang binayaran po ng Meralco sa kanila noong 2018 ay 232 billion.
Wala.
Noong 2019
Napakahirap dipinsahan.
ay 241 billion. Ang presyo po, ang binibili natin ng Meralco sa lahat ng power plants ay 86%. So the cost of what we pay, yung binabayaran po ng bawat bahay, 86% po yan ay nanggagaling sa power generation na binibili ng Meralco. Next slide. Diyan po makikita kung ano ang nangyari, kung bakit tayo nagkaroon ng kontrata. 1,500 megawatts ang binibili po natin at kontrata na kailangan natin bilhin sa FGP Corporation at FGPC, which will end in 2025, yung FGPC, at yung FGP po 2027. Kung naalala po ng ating mga kasama, nandito rin po yung mga kasama natin, si Chairman Alvarado was part of the Good Government Committee. Ang sabi nga po ng Meralco, 55% ng inyong binabayarang kuryente hindi po galing sa amin, galing dun sa binibili namin sa mga planta. Ang tanong po natin, ba't di nyo ibaba? Wala po kaming magawa. And if I recall, many of our colleagues were saying, can we review the contracts?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Kausarate.
May I raise a point of order? Gusto ko sanang payagan na magtuloy-tuloy yung manifestation ni Congressman Defensor. Pero po, gusto ko lang banggitin dito na yung issue na nire-raise ni Congressman Defensor about Meralco ay alam naman natin na hindi na yung related sa dapat agenda natin sa hapon na ito. Ako po ay kaisa ni Congressman Defensor sa usaping imbestigahan ang mga maanumalyang kontratang yan na pinasok ng mga nagdaang administrasyon. Isa ho sa advokasya namin yan. Pero kung dito po natin ipapasok yan sa puntong ito na ang binanggit natin ay summation ng mga argumento na nangyari noong nakaraang 12 pagdinig, nire-raise ko po ito dahil may mga bagong issues na nilalabas dito na hindi na bibigyan ng pagkakataon ang ABS-CBN na sumagot. Kung gustong erase ang mga issues na yan, sa tingin ko yung Committee on Good Government ay sinasabi nilang magtutuloy-tuloy ang investigasyon nito, or even sa Committee on Energy ay wala hong magpipigil na buksan muli ang mga usaping yan. Para lang ho sa magandang daloy ng ating hearing ngayon, na malinaw naman ang naka-schedule. Is a summation of the hearings we conducted in the past 12 hearings. Sana po ay mabigyan ng katugunan ito ng ating mga nangungulo sa meeting na ito. Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Mr. Chairman, napakaganda po ng binanggit ni Congressman Zarate. Ngunit nung ako po nga po yung magsimula, ang aking binanggit ay yung political bias. Sa isa pong pananaw, Mr. Chairman, at ako nananawagan din kay Congressman Zarate, dahil alam ko pong kayo ang isa sa mga nauna upang tingnan at sabing i-review itong mga kontratang to. Congressman Zarate, ang maaaring hindi natin nakikita at bibigyan ko ng pagkakataong sumagot ang Lopez, na katulad nga po ng sinasabi ko, ito pong usapin na to ay pagpagtatalaga ng isang oligarkiya. Ang ABS-CBN po ay hindi walay sa Meralco o sa first power plant, sa first generation gas plant. Ito po ay isang galamay ng mga negosyo na kung saan tinutulak nila ang kanilang interes. At bilang po isa sa mga nagmamahal ng bayan, Congressman Zarate, ako din po ay nananawagan sa inyo na wag lang po nating tingnan to bilang issue ng mass media. Tingnan natin ang kabuuan na kung saan ang oligarkiya ay tinutulak ang kanilang interes sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mass media para po sa katulad nitong negosyo ng pagtaas ng ating kuryente. Nananawagan din po ako sa inyo, Congressman Zarate, na lawakan natin ang ating pananaw sa pagtalakay ng issue ng ABS-CBN. Ako po'y naniniwala na nakikita ninyo ang maraming mga issue na bumabalot sa ating lipunan at isa sa inyong mga pinaglalaban ay ang pagtigil ng malalaking interes, ang pagtigil ng mga interes na nakakasama sa ating pangkalatang sambayanan. At kailangan po sana, Mr. Chairman, Congressman Sarate, katulad po ng aking sinabi, nung nahuling hearing po, ang mga political bias na nabanggit, ay hindi ko po nakikita yung kabuang pananaw na kung saan nagagamit ang mass media sa isang personal at malalaking negosyanteng interes dito sa ating bansa, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Defensor, sa susunod na linggo po, Wednesday, 1 p.m. ay magkakaroon tayo ng pagpapatuloy ng hearing natin sa usapin po ng Meralco at ng iba't iba pang power concessionaires. Una, kung paano mapapababa yung singil. Pangalawa, kung paano maaayos yung sistema ng paniningil. At papayagan po kita na
Mr. Chairman,
ibukas ang usapin, ang mas malalim na usapin tungkol sa history ng Meralco mula pa nung panahon ng mga Lopez hanggang po sa pagkakalipat sa bagong ng mga nagmamay-ari po at nagmamanage po nito.
Mr. Chairman, first of all, my
Yes,
manifestation,
Vice Chairman Defensor.
my manifestation is my time. This is a summation, and we have already given the time of summation to the other members of this committee. My manifestation is my time, and I particularly raise an issue on political bias. I'm not going out of hand, Mr. Chairman, because precisely Meralco was owned by the Lopez, FGP was owned by the Lopezes, FGPC, or the First Gas Power Corporation, is owned by the Lopezes. And I'm saying, and I'm putting the connection of ABS-CBN as a mass media corporation connected to these businesses. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm not talking of any other business. If I am raising a manifestation based on these points on political biases, then I will say it, Mr. Chairman. Because history, if ever we vote to kill this franchise, would show that there are violations of the constitutions and laws of this country. But more importantly, Mr. Chairman, that we did service to our country, to the future of this nation, by killing another oligarchy. And that is my point, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chairman Mike Defensor, maraming salamat sa napakagandang punto. At both chairman of this joint committees ay mataas po ang pagtingin, lalong-lalo na sa mga bagay na isiniwalat mo ngayong araw na ito. At maganda rin po na narinig ng ating mga kababayan. At sabi ko nga po sa iyo, katulad po ng sinabi ko sa iyo kanina, bibigyan kita ng mas mahabang oras tungkol sa usaping ito sa pagdinig po natin sa Wednesday. At para po sa ating mga tagapanood ngayong araw na ito, kayo po ay inaanyayahan namin sa magiging hearing patungkol sa Meralco. At marami pa pong sasabihin at mas malalim pang talakayan kagaya po nito ang ating mapapakinggan sa ating mga kasama na kongresista at isa na po doon si Vice Chairman Mike Defensor. Vice Chairman Mike, tapos na ba ang iyong manifestation o ipagpapatuloy mo pa ang iyong
Mr. Chairman,
manifestation?
3 more slides. Actually po, 3 slides na lang po, tapos na po ako.
You may continue, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next slide, please. Sige po, Mr. Chairman, isa-summarize ko lang po dun sa, yan. Kung makikita nyo po, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, nagsimula po to ng 2010. Ang pong guaranteed na kailangan natin bilhin ay 14 billion 295 million kilowatt hours.